Hi, good afternoon, and thank you for visiting my channel, Abby's Creative Hands at Crochet. Wanted to give you information on my um, other section of this video of the vintage mesh fingerless gloves in white, and I wanted to first of all apologize for the information that I gave you pertaining the thread that I'm using for this vintage mesh fingerless gloves. Um, the actual thread that I'm using for this um, fingerless gloves is Red Heart Classic um, crochet thread number 10, and also I'm using the needle size or the hook size number 8 in steel. I'm also using lots of markers. As you could see, um, I'm wearing the fingerless gloves with the little markers that I've had put while I was working with it, so I would not forget where I did my narrowing or increasing. And in my previous um, video, I mentioned that I had started with 60 stitches. This is the bottom part of the glove, and I started it with 60 stitches plus 1 and did a slip stitch right here where the tail is. I did a slip stitch, and then I started to work single crochet in each of the chain, which are 60 for 4 rows. Then after I did that, I started to work on the spiral section over here. It's like a mesh, but it's worked on a spiral, and it was chain up 5 and slip stitch, and chain up 5 and did a slip stitch at every 5th chain. In other words, I chain up 5 in the beginning, counted 5 chain, and did a slip stitch. Counted. I did 5 chain, counted 4 stitches, and in the 5th chain I did a slip stitch, and continue to work in this pattern for the length that require to fit my wrist, this section in here of my arm. And once I reach the wrist section in here, which was 10 knots, these are considered knots in the spiral, I counted 9 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once I did my 10, I placed the marker right there. My next section will be this section in here of your upper part of your wrist, which is considered the palm of your hand, the beginning palm of your hand. And what I did here was chain 4. Make sure that when you start chaining the 4 section in here, you are parallel to the tail when you first did the slip stitch. So you're going to start once you reach your 10th knot. Okay, your 10th knot, which will be up here. What you do is you're going to start working on your 4 chain, slip stitch, 4 chain, slip stitch for 4 rows. What I mean by that is that you're going to be doing like a little narrowing in this section so your glove fits comfortably in the beginning part of the palm of your hand. So once you have reached your 4th rows around here, remember to count knots. 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th one in here, you're going to place another marker. Okay, so after that you have done the 4 or 5 rows depending on the length of your hand around this section in here, we are going to start working on the thumb section. And the thumb section is that once you reach the slip stitch before the tail, when you originally started it, when you reach here, you are going to chain 15 chains, or the desired length, to wrap around your thumb area. Okay, you will always going to leave one little loop here without a slip stitch. So it will be 15 chains around here, around your thumb, and you're going to do a slip stitch on the next loop. You skip one, and on the next loop you are going to do a slip stitch. And then after that you are going to chain up 5, slip stitch, chain up 5, slip stitch, and you are going to continue doing that for 2 or 3 rows, again depending on the length of your palm of the hand. Okay, so once you reach the section in here where you did your 15 chain to wrap around your finger, you are going to continue doing the 5 chain, slip stitch, 5 chain, slip stitch, 5 chain, slip stitch all around to give it a contour to your fingerless glove in this section in here, because this is where you're going to be working. So the next step will be going towards the section in here around your finger area. So that would be my 3rd or my 4th video. Until then, I want to thank you for visiting my channel, and hope you like it. If you like this video tutorials, please click on like, and if you like my channel, you're more than welcome to subscribe to it. I am new to this tutorial for crocheting, and I'm a little bit nervous, and I just want to make sure that your vintage mesh fingerless gloves comes out beautiful and you're happy with it. Okay, thank you for visiting me, and hope to see you again. For now, have a wonderful afternoon.